Hello, welcome back. Hopefully you're doing well today. So we're back on this lovely Wednesday. Yes, I'm not losing my mind. It is in fact Wednesday. Welcome back. Um, so you noticed we are a third of the way through our stream every day for at least an hour challenge. We're on day 10. The numbers kind of got messed up because I forgot to change them because we were switching days. But anyways, we're on day 10. I counted today. We are on day 10 of 31, so we're officially basically a third of the way there, which is really cool. We have updated our follower goal. We have 16 of our. I moved it. I was moving it by 5, but I decided to move it 10 this time, so we're shooting for 25. And these are counting the ones that we got in the past, week. Excuse me, last week or so. Right there. So you can see that. Um, but yeah, I think we're gonna finish Riven today. I'm pretty hopeful. I feel like we're at the last big puzzle, and once we solve this one, we'll be good to go. Um, assuming we get it done within the first hour or two, we will be able to. What's up with my microphone? The audio seems to be weird. I'm only singing in one channel. Is the audio weird to you guys? You'll have to give me a heads up. I think it's only coming out of one ear. Why is that happening? Give me just a second. Hello? Hello? There's nothing going wrong with my microphone. Again, give me a heads up in chat. But yeah, we should finish Riven Day, and if we do, we will go ahead and move on to Mist 3. Um, hey, is the audio fine, Night Lady? It seems like it's only coming out of like one ear on the on my little microphone thing on here. Yeah, yes, it's fine. This is weird because usually there's two bars going back and forth, and now there's only one. Okay, thank you. But yeah, so we're gonna jump back into Riven and probably finish that up today, and then move into a Mist 3. Um, Okie dokie. So let's go ahead and switch over, and we already got the game loaded up. Cool. I already loaded our save, so there we go. Alright. So I wanted to make it to... Christ. I wanted to make it to the island that has the geometry thing on it. So that we can kind of get an eye on what we're looking at. I'm just trying to remember how exactly to get there. I think I remember. I think it's this way. So... did that one. I believe it's through here. Let's see if the ride is here. It is not. Let's go push the button. Button is pushed. That's really weird it's only seeming like it's coming out of one ear, but maybe that's an issue with OBS and not the microphone. Move that closer to us as well so you can hear us a bit better. Alright. Should be able to take this to where we want to go. The thing is, we need to figure out what each of these islands are. How do they correspond? So let's look at this one and see what shape that one is. What is this? Okay, this is where the big dome is. According to what we wrote down, we have this, and it's up there. Alright. The big dome island we have written down as green, so I think that's right. Let's go look at the little island and try to get an idea for where that's at. Basically, I'm just trying to look at what the topography has, and if we can... Alright, so this is the flat, like, plateau. And it's over there. So where is there a plateau? Wait, we already have that one solved, it looks like. We have blue for that one. Okay. So we need to figure out the 4. Okay. Yeah, we need to figure out this island. What is this island? Look at the... Okay, this is the big crater island with the underground... The one with the underground. Do we have that one? I don't think so. Yeah, we have the big one. We wrote that down as red, and it's right here. So, and that makes sense. So we need to get to the 4 island and the L island. Which one is the L island? That's the one we're on. Okay. This one we don't have the dome for, according to this. It says the dome is like over this way. Well, actually no, it's this way. Okay, so this one we don't have. Let's see what we got here. Turn this back on. Okay, not sure what that one stopped on. Huh. Let's turn it back on, and I guess whichever one's golden is the one that's going to be... Okay, looks like it's the line across. So what is that one? Do you have one for that? orange. So the L is orange. So we just need to get to the Crater Island one. And check that one again. Which I believe is what this one connects to, so let's go back this way. So the 4 is the Crater Island, which is this one we are currently on. Okay, Crater Island. Yeah, this is the big crater one, so this is the 4 stack, so we need to go down this way, go back up, back in here. See where this one stops. Alright, it looks like it's the one straight up and down. It should be purple. Okay, so if I did this correctly, we don't have a yellow, but there's only 5, so we don't need it. And we have all the rest of them. Okay, so let's go try our solution that we have now. What is the quickest way? I guess this way. Yeah, we'll have to take the minecart back, but... No, actually, no. There's a quicker way. Get back to the thing. We can go this way. The dome is over here. Okay, that's the almost right way to go. Then we go this way, around here. And then we switch this way. Now we go up here. Alright. So, we're wrong. This one needs to be blue. So let's move you over here. You need to be blue. We don't have a yellow. We have a purple. Okay, so green is this area here, here. Green there. Purple. Gonna go in the 4 square. Upper square. Second one. Purple goes here. Red goes in the big area down here in this square. Like orange goes in the L and goes here. Alright, so in theory that should be our solution. So we have the colors. You just might need to double check the position. Okay, so the position is incorrect. So that means we need to go back to the Topology Island. What is the quickest way back to Topology Island? There's only one way to get there, right? Okay, that's something we need to do. We need to figure out all the entrances and exits to the Topology Island. I don't know what it would actually be called, but I feel like there's something we're missing in the locale, because them being all lined up on the top is kind of weird. I think they need to match the direction of the panel. I don't think we did that. These go through here. Okay, let's see. Oh, we need to go push the button. I forgot we took a different route off the island. Okay. We can take this one this way. Okay, wait. This looks like the... Wait, go back. Go back. This is the Plateau Island. No. This is the L Island. We know it's the L Island because it had the spikes. Okay. Alright, so... What are our exits? Where does this door take us? Takes us to this elevator. Where does elevator take us? To a different... ram. Wherever this connects might be a quicker route, we'll see. But yeah, we need to figure out hold on, I think I have an idea. So we'll figure out where that goes after we look at the topology thing, which is why we're here. I keep calling it topology, it's topography. Topography. Alright, so we know this one's we know. Actually, no, what I'm saying. We don't know the orientation. But what I'm thinking, this is the default. However, we have a drawing that says it's all rotated. Right? No. They all match this. Okay. So let's see where did we mess up? Where did we mess up? That it looks correct, right? Because if this block is in this corner, it's the second one here. So I feel like the position is the one thing we're messing up. If we look at this one, we should be able to go here. Yeah, it's right there. Huh. Why, it doesn't look like I jotted these down wrong. Maybe the colors are off? This one will be on this one. Oh, no it won't. Okay, that one's wrong. Which one is it on? On that one. Okay. So this one's completely wrong. It's not in the right spot or anything. So that's a start. So this one is here. And it's 2 from the bottom? Yeah. There. Okay. That one was wrong. Let's go check the other one. Check this one. This one I'm pretty sure we got right. It should be here. there on the second one. So that one's right. This one we have as here. On the fourth row, second one, right? Yeah, okay, so that's right. Maybe it was just that purple one that was off. Alright, let's see where the fire, the orange tram down here goes. Yeah, we're doing pretty well, Popol. I think we're getting close to the end here. We're just trying to solve this last big puzzle. At least what I assume is the last big puzzle. But it requires, you know, a lot of information, so we're just trying to... Okay, where does this take us? Where does this get off? This might be helpful. Okay, this is the one in the mouth of the thing. Okay, so this is the quickest way back to Topography Island. Yeah, the marbles. Yeah, I figured out the number system. I figured out the colors. We were off by one position. So I'm going to go adjust that one and see. It was the purple one. The purple one is supposed to be on this square down 4. Should be right there. Still doesn't. Hey, Save. Fingers crossed. Yeah, I feel like one of these is still not right because I don't know why they would put 2 in the same row, but we just checked and that's... If this doesn't work, then there's something wrong with the colors, but... Okay. Yeah, we figured that out, Copel. It was... The problem is I was seeing, and we talked about this yesterday, I still have the drawing, I'll show you what I was seeing. So I was seeing, when we were talking about the numbers, I was seeing DI, light work with me, I was seeing DI, not curve in a box. That's what was causing the confusion. So once I realized, like, oh, it's a shape inside of that box. That's when I was able to figure out what was... So something... Oh, it's because this one's in the wrong place. It's supposed to be in this box in this corner. Hold on. Let me double check, put these in the right place. So that one's there, yes. Green, this one here. Purple here, yes. Red, in this box, right there, yes. And orange is here. Okay, try that again. So, but yeah, that's why the numbers were stumping us, is because... Yes! We did it. So it was just we had the right colors, it was just the green wasn't the wrong square. Cool. Now we can figure out what that actually did. I'm guessing powered the books. But, you know what they say about assuming? Wow, that had to be one of the hardest puzzles I've ever seen in a game. Oh, in a game. Yeah, so that puzzle has effectively 4 parts, roughly. First, you have to find out how you get to it, which is pulling a lever in the dome. Right here, I'll show you. We'll kind of talk about the steps here. So, like, you have to find this lever here to make the stairs. So you can even that's just how you access the puzzle. Once you have access to the puzzle, you have to um, go to that topography island, and which is the one that's shaped like an L, and you have to find out where the domes are. So that gives you the location. And then once you have the location, you then have to go to the domes themselves. Well, no. First, before you go to the domes themselves, well, yeah, you could do this in anywhere. You go to the domes themselves. Here, I'll show you since we're going to this one. What you have to do with the domes. So once you go to the domes, right, you have this thing. We'll go ahead and turn this on, and then we'll turn it off here in a second. So these spinning eyes, when you stop it on the right spinning eye, if it'll let us. This one was always a pain. I don't know why I decided to show you this one. But basically, you have to stop it at the right time, which I'm terrible at. Okay. And once it stops, it'll give you a specific eye. So you have to know what island you're on. So that one was a circle with a dot. You have to know what island you're on so you can write that down. Once you have that written down, so like that was green, right? Which means we're on the square of the 4. So this island is a square with a little thing to the side of it. Once you have that information, you then have to go to the underwater chair and reference all of the things on that panel to see what light matches with that symbol based on the panel. So with those 4 steps, you then can solve the puzzle because you'll have the color and the position of the dome. But so this puzzle, which is why I'm assuming it's the last one, basically takes the entire island to solve. So yeah, this was 23, 11, 8, 7, 3. So, and I think, like, although I feel like that's a really cool puzzle, if you do not know what you're looking for, and I think this is, we'll talk about this when we get to the end of Riven. We'll do kind of like a little overview before we jump into Myst 3. I think that's Riven's biggest issue, is not the fact that the puzzles are in particularly difficult. Ah, here we go. Nice. So it is in fact powered. It's not that they're difficult, it's just you don't know what information is useful to you and what information goes with what puzzle. So let's go capture again. I'm assuming that's our goal here. Don't let me in. Yes, that's where I want to go. There we go. Okay. Oops, we forgot to save. That's fine. We came through this one. Yeah, we just have to figure out how to get out of our cage. None of the books seem to be powered, and this... call him again with that calling button? What? Do this. Oh. I didn't know that button was next to us. Ah. Yeah, we'll do a little bit of an overview once we finish this.
I apologize for the cage. I'm afraid this situation has often required of me a more primitive code of conduct than I might otherwise have chosen. I am Gen. I assume you've heard of me. Yes. Well, I suspect you have acquired some false information of who I am now. Not that my son would have lied to you about me. No, not Atris. It's just that, well, I'm sure he believes me to still be the depraved father I once was. Yes. I even tried to kill him once.
Rude.
God, if I had accomplished that, who knows what I would have become. A great father indeed, who tries to murder his own son. Thankfully, he trapped me on age 5, a prison of my own creation. No books, no precious inks, no ages to link to, nothing but my own foolish ambitions. That was
We did indeed.
30 years.
Saavedro.
30 lifetimes, what does it matter? No sentence could be too harsh for the man I was. But I have changed. To be sure, the deeds of my past can never be completely atoned for, but my mission was an honorable one.
Smoking's bad for your health.
I'm sorry, this is all a bit awkward.
Oh yeah, this is frog juice, isn't it? Like he was smoking frog juice.
Of my intentions. Most of the people here have already made their minds up about me one way or another. I myself do not trust the words of most men, so I don't expect you to believe me. In the end, though, you may discover that I do have more than mere words to offer.
Must be some good frog juice.
Atris's choice of punishment has been hard on the people of Riven, and many have suffered because of it. The island has been steadily decaying for years, but according to my most recent measurements, it appears that the 5th age has entered its final days. Unless the villagers can be relocated soon, the island will collapse entirely and everyone will perish. It has taken me a long time to do it, but it appears that finally I'll be able to make some substantial amends to my past transgressions, especially in... Well, I'm afraid I've had some trouble with Catherine and the moiety. In any society, there will always be a small percentage of the population with rebellious tendencies. Before Catherine appeared, the moiety, as they call themselves, had been relatively harmless. I mean, the natives here are a fairly violent people by nature, but I'd almost come to accept their presence. It seemed inevitable under the circumstances. Upon Catherine's return, however, their violence intensified considerably. It seems she's become some sort of religious savior to them.
We know that.
As far as I can tell, she's come to believe this herself. So I've had no alternative. I had to separate her from her people.
Thank you, Captain Lordump.
My concerns were not entirely for her safety alone. The actions of Catherine and the moiety have put my own life at risk on numerous occasions. consequently, the lives of all the people here. Therefore, I must ask you to refrain from any attempt to free her. Although I'm sure Atreus desires it. Indeed, he must desire it with all his heart. But he is completely unaware of her recent state.
Uh-huh. Like,
Which brings me to the point of all of this. The linking book you brought with you. You're very fortunate to have recovered it. If I may. Thank you.
You're welcome. Open it. Look into it. Why don't you take a trip to Dunny? Right there. Do it. Do the thing. Thank you, Lunar Downs Witch? Oh, Lunar Downs Street Witch? Maybe? For the follow. Come on, do the thing. Leave us in suspense, do the thing.
Perhaps it would be best if you went through first.
No.
You may need some time to decide. That is reasonable. Until then, as a token of my good intentions, I will allow you free access to my linking books, crude though they may be, and to the rest of the Fifth Age. Please understand, there is nothing I want more than a chance to resolve matters between Atreus and myself, especially in light of what has become of Catherine. But unless you are willing to demonstrate to me that your intentions are honorable, I cannot risk it. The sanctuary I've been writing for the islanders is nearly complete. After all these years, it would be a shame if I were unable to finish it. The work I am doing is quite demanding. Please don't signal me unless you've decided to use the book. The switch will reset itself once you link from here.
Okay. So we can use the linking books to get out of here. But it puts us back in this cage. How do we use that to our advantage? I guess there is one last puzzle. Alright, so let's do a save here since we know what's gonna happen. Near the end. Okay. We know what happens when we go through the book. It's a trap book, Copel. I think he basically calls us an idiot. If if that's one of the ending. We ran basically once we got the book, we used the book in the Moeti place, we used the book in Riven, and then we also broke the planet. So Alright, so we save there. I guess it doesn't matter which. Have you ever played Myst? Yes, we played that before we played this one. Like you can let the brothers out of the book by giving them like the last page, which is what he's trying to do to Gen. But the thing is, if we hit the book, then Gen knows it's a trap, and it doesn't help us. But we'll go ahead and do it. We've saved now. It's not like we have any other interactables. So. Yeah, you get trapped in it yourself. But he wouldn't. There's no reason for him to let us out of the book, is what I'm saying.
I'm relieved you've returned. I thought perhaps you had decided against it. Here, I shall follow you directly.
Let's see if we do this. Well, he says he'll follow us directly, but I don't think that's the truth, right? Yeah. Oh, okay. See, I thought he could see us, and that's when he'd go, "Oh, no, no, thank you," because that's what he does in the other one. He like literally frees you from the book when you trap yourself. Okay. See, that's a little bit confusing because when you use the book in Riven, oh, I know how he lets you out of the book. Never mind. I confused myself. When you use the book in Riven, you end up here, and he's like, "Wow, you're an idiot, but you're free." But his buddy's missing, so I think he uses the guard to set you free. So the guard gets trapped in the book. Alright. So this is the unpowered age that he's trying to make for the villagers. Now we've got to find Catherine. Ah, this is showing that he's created the things that make his own religion. Here's his frog juice pipe. So if... Hold on, I want to save real quick. Gen got. I'm gonna click on this real quick and see if we can see him in there. Okay. I was hoping we could see him in there. That'd be nice, but... Okay, that powers that. Yeah, I couldn't see him. I mean, I assume if we watch it long enough, maybe it'll do something. Okay. Let him out. What does this do? Oh, okay. We do that so we have access to the other books. Because we'll need those to go back once we find Catherine, who I'm guessing is down in this hole somewhere. Salvedro. Do we get a special ending if we let... Yeah, I kind of figured that's his wife. Do we get a special ending if we let him out? Or is it just go back to that you're an idiot in a cage ending? Do you know? That's a little different. Okay. Alright, let's do some reading real quick. Some stuff. And this time we have water, so our throat won't give out on us. 86-9-29. I start this lady's journal with astounding news. Catherine has returned to the Fifth Age, and though it sets my teeth on edge to say it, she has also vanished as quickly as she appeared, stolen from me by the rebels. As my guard tells it, she linked into the Fisher Plateau cage. Wait, what? She linked into the Fisher Plateau cage, as I had guessed, when suddenly he was set upon by a band of rebels who darted him and wow, that poor guard got darted twice. Wow, that poor guy. He's just trying to do his job. And he's like, ooh, somebody's in the cage. Gets darted. Ooh, somebody else in the cage gets darted. Like, jeez. Cut the man a break. I suspect the truth of the matter was that he was so dumbfounded at actually witnessing someone link in after all this time that he presented an easy target for whichever rebel had happened by at that moment. The damnable luck of it. He did get a good enough look at her, though, to verify that it was indeed Catherine. He also claims that he inspected all of her belongings and found no linking book on her person, a fact which, if true, makes the question of why she's returned here all the more puzzling. While I'm sick with frustration at having lost the only quarry that Cage has ever caught, actually you lose it twice, I am also filled with hope. She may yet provide me with a way back to Dooney. It is true that I have managed, despite overwhelming odds, to break free of the confines of the Fifth Age and resume my mission to save my culture from extinction, but I fear that unless I am able to regain access to vast resources that lie in the city's ruins, the task of reconstructing that great civilization will be impossible. If Catherine did bring a linking book with her, then I am halfway there. If not, then she is trapped in the Fifth Age, and I can assume that my emotionally crippled son will soon be along to rescue her. That's rude. Emotionally crippled? I don't think... Either way, it is crucial to my plans that I find her soon. Her presence here now forces me to take the rebels more seriously. I should never have permitted them to survive this long. Oof. 86-10-5. Once again, the Great Wark whale shark thing has demonstrated its usefulness to me. This past week, the villagers have been most difficult to manage. Apparently, they have learned of Catherine's arrival, and their fear of this mythic beast has been all that has kept them in line. Had I known how truly useful the prodigious creature would prove to be, I would have perhaps captured more of them while the local population was still plentiful. Although, to be sure, if these disturbances continue, my current pets will be in no danger of perishing for the lack of nourishment. Ouch. 86-10-13. The search for Catherine continues. I now deeply regret my mistake of having even taught these primitive people anything at all about the books. It seems that with each passing day, I more sorely realize the extent to which they were not ready for that knowledge, not even in the simplified manner in which I had presented it to them. Their minds, adapted only to the exceptionally menial tasks of village life, were incapable of comprehending the art in all its complexity, and thus were unable to extract the essential underlying principles that are, ironically, so elegantly simple. It is so obvious that much of the discord that exists between us stems from their failure to grasp the full meaning of the information I gave them. If they'd been able to gain even the smallest glimpse of the future I'd planned for them, then this conflict would not exist. The minds of children are much more malleable. Yeah. With the proper instructions, they have developed a more appropriate posture towards the culture that gave them their lives. At times, they take to it almost as if they had a bit of Dooney blood in them. Given the natives' inborn limitations, however, I am quite careful that none gain a level of understanding that would permit them to sin against their future the way that Catherine did. How foolish I was to think that she could contain such knowledge responsibly when it was quite clear that my own son could not. Atris, still he remains one of the greatest disappointments of my life. I should have never have let him with my mother. What? I should never have left him with my mother. That's much better. By the time I'd returned for him, he had already been poisoned as to all thoughts of the Dooney. Perhaps it was the only way she could rationalize the fact that she had been responsible for the collapse of their civilization. Ouch. He's really rude to basically everyone he knows. So much destruction, so many great lives lost. The guilt must have been unbearable. I do have vague recollections of the love she had for my father and for our world. But ultimately, she was an outsider whose ignorance of the Dooney became the catalyst for their demise. If I am able to rebuild our culture and in process connect such crucial weaknesses, then perhaps what she did was ultimately necessary in order that a new era of prosperity might someday come to pass. 8714. These last few weeks, I have found myself frequently beset by images from the past. As I stood in the schoolroom today, I was reminded of my own childhood, the years I spent in the Bookmakers Guild, Father's immense pride at each of my small accomplishments there. He was an important man in the Dooney world, but I can't bear to think of him for long. It's too much. I was too young to see such a thing. Ooh. I've got her. Okay, so 8728. I've got her. Late last night, I received word that Catherine was in the village attempting to persuade the people to join her. I lost 2 good men in the process, but I would have paid 100 times that number for such a prize. She's been taken to the prison island. We know how to get to the prison island? Where I've been attempting to gain some insight as to the reason for her presence here. I have had to fight the all. I've had to fight the all but constant impulse. Yeah, okay. Constant impulse to put her on the gallows. Ooh. She has adopted the most infuriating stance of only answering my questions when she answers them at all in her native tongue. Even so, she is a poor liar. I am now quite certain that her return to Riven was unintentional and that she brought no linking book with her. As far as her unwillingness to share with me the location of the moiety, we shall see. Without their leader, however, they are once again powerless against me. If Catherine's coming here was indeed an accident, then Atreus is bound to come for her. That is a given. The question I must now consider is, how will he do it? Likely that his hesitation has been due, at least in part, to this dilemma. One way or another, though, he'll have to bring a Lincoln book to get back to Dooney. There is no other way. 87-620. It's late and I cannot sleep. I've lost so much in my life. Also, did you notice the handwriting's changed? Like, this is very, like, confident and clear, and then this is kind of, like, losing its form. I cannot sleep. I've lost so much in my life. My people, my father, my son, and you, my wife, Kita. You were the only true kindness I have ever known. Watching you flicker there in the images. Shaky and tear-stained? Yeah. So you have the tear stains, because nothing is on this side, but you can see that, like, he's obviously struggling now. Sometimes wonder if you were real. If I could restore your life with my pen, I would do so in an instant. and leave the rest of the world to their own wretched fate. 87,730. See, now he's back to a much clearer. Damn these savages. Ooh, rude. I would be well advised to leave them all in the 5th age and begin again with a clean sheet of paper. A stranger has arrived on Riven with a linking book to Dooney, and once again my useless minion was overtaken by the rebels. From what little I could decipher from his muddled explanation, it apparently occurred sometime this morning. The cage has been damaged, but it is no matter. Everything I need is here now. Atris is certainly behind this, yet how could he be so foolish as to send someone here with a linking book? Such blatancy... Is that a word? Blatancy? Is unlike him. Could it be that he has had a change of heart? After all these years, is he finally letting his poor old father go? No, he's only after one thing, and perhaps he should find her. For now, I need only to wait and observe. Okay, and that's... I do like that. I think that's really interesting that his journal actually does this. Oh, where's it at? This, where you can actually see it's visibly different. That's really cool. That is a really nice, like... Okay, this wall moves or something. There's a crack here. Can we... Okay. Okay. Looks like we explored this. He said he put her on the prison island. I don't know what he's referencing there. I'm thinking this is the prison island. Yeah, it doesn't look like we've been here. All the remaining bad endings are open now. Let Gin out here, let him out in Tay, or forget Catherine, open the fissure, and really disappoint Atreus. Yeah, that's... Yeah, let's go ahead and save, because we haven't been to this book, so I'm guessing that's the book for the prison island. Let's go ahead and save, and we're going to write checking out the endings. So let's do that. Let's go here, let him out.
I don't know exactly why you released me, but you realize, of course, that this must be the end for you. I can't take the chance that you will change your mind again. It may provide you with some solace, however, to know that with this act of self-sacrifice, you have secured your place in history. The Dunny culture will be reborn. The lives of millions will be purified. Thanks to you. Farewell.
Okay. We won't worry about the forget Catherine, because I feel like that's going to be along the same lines as when we go and we don't have it captured. Except Atreus doesn't get shot. He's just like, where is she? And he gets upset. So we won't worry about that one. But I am interested to see what happens if we let him out in Tay. That could be a fun viewing experience. Alright, start saved game. Checking out the ending. Load. Alright, so if we're going to go there, we need to go to the biggest island here. Alright, quickest way to Tay is to get back to the village. Good chance for him to call us an idiot repeatedly. Yeah. How do you like the game overall? Once we get it completed, Copel, we'll talk about it. we'll do kind of a big overview on the game and mechanics and stuff like that. So we gotta go through the village. Yes, sound your alarm. Up here. Here. Okay. Need to go this way. Order is 1, 2. Put this down. Did we? Oh, there it is. I was like, where in our notes is this thing? Yeah, that's bug, and then it's frog, which was over here. 3. Platypus thing, and then whale. Those are both over here. Alright. Go to Tay. And let him out.
It appears that the moiety and I will finally be able to discuss our differences face to face. I don't know exactly why you released me, but you realize, of course, that this must be the end for you. I can't take the chance that you will change your mind again. It may provide you with some solace, however, to know that with this act of self-sacrifice, you have secured your place in history.
Okay, so the dialogue's basically the same.
Culture will be reborn,
Except he's whispering and he's much happier about it.
thanks to you. Farewell.
Yeah. So that one it's basically the same thing except he's happy and in Tay. That's the face of someone giddy to murder people. So Mr. I'm not a bad guy does look awfully happy to eradicate a group of people. Alright. There we go. A lot of blow darting to do, yeah. Alright, so now let's go save Catherine. She should be in this one. This looks correct. Alright, let's do another save here. Prison land.
You made it.
Yes.
But how'd you get past?
He's in a book.
You have to get me out of here.
That's the plan.
If Gen gets the linking book to Dunny, he'll kill Atris.
He can't. He's in a book.
Gen's people may be watching us.
Doesn't matter.
The combination to the elevator is somewhere in Gen's office. Be careful. Go then. If you won't help me, then I have nothing more to say.
Combination to what? Wait. Did his journal have a combination in it? Because I didn't see anything. Okay, well, I guess that's Not in the journal, but it is back there. Okay, cool. Let's do that then. So it's office. Also, this would suck. Like, you had to go down a ladder every time you had to get to your bedroom. You know how bad your legs would be by the time you get done? Alright, combination. What? Okay, well, we found what the combination is. We just gotta figure out. Okay, so no, that's we're listening for the audio, I guess. Let's write this. Let's give that another push. All right. Rattle. It goes so fast. Okay. So it's a palindrome. Okay. Cool. That's all we needed. Starts. It's the same way backwards and forwards. Should be this one. Okay. Okay, nope. So this is our reset, I guess. So it's there we go. Easy peasy. They just had to give us one more puzzle. This is the third and final randomized code. Oh, that's cool. I mean, it makes sense for it to be randomized because it's only 3 sounds. So there would be, let's see, 3 sounds, 5 places. So that's 3 to the 5th. So that's 3, 9, 27, 60, no, 81. Okay, so there's like 200 something combinations of that. So like you would have to find that, otherwise you got a lot of brute forcing. It's a trap.
You did it. We're all free. You're captured again. But there's still his followers. I'm not sure what I'll do once I realize he's gone. I'll have to get the villagers to safety as soon as possible. You go back to the Temple Island and reopen the fissure. I know it's risky, but it's the only way to save the Matrix. I'll try to make it back there as soon as I can, but don't wait for me. Don't forget, the portal combination's in my journal. Good luck.
She just leaves us here. Freeze again. Like, total, like, plot twist. That'd be amazing. Be like, you do this, like, long playthrough and, can't brute force it. The puzzle's locked until you capture again. Yeah, but what I'm saying is, after you capture again, you can still try to figure that out on your own. Dome code, prison code, and hatch code are the randomized ones. Nice. But yeah, no, you can capture Gin, but then you just kind of have to figure out, because you can get to this puzzle after you capture Gin. So at that point, you could try to brute force it. It wouldn't be smart because you'd have over 240 combinations, but there we go. Alright, so we need to go back here. You go this one. Wait, what? Rude. Why she gotta take her page like that? Fine, we'll go to this one. I guess it's so you can't just go straight back to it. Alright. Let's do another save. To the fissure. Oh, wow. Yeah, they literally shut off all your other avenues of getting back to the start. Alright, so here, here, here. Go to the stop. Take the stop off. Then this. Time to end the game. So we know what happens when this breaks. Oop. Endo get. Boop. Alright, we did all your things, man.
There isn't much time. Where's Catherine? Where's the book?
Atris!
I don't...
The villagers are safely in the rebel age. I thank you.
As do I. You've accomplished more than I could have hoped for.
Wow, he's really tall. Or she's really short.
Life. The path home is now clear for all of us. This is where our paths must part. Perhaps we'll meet again someday. You know where to find me. Goodbye, my friend.
Isn't that more dangerous? Wait. So, like, last time he did that, the Mist book ended up in the hands of the character, so it ended up in a totally different age, right? So someone could easily just stumble across his Dooney book and end up in Dooney.
Now I understand. Endings and beginnings are within the fissure, that riven cleft of stars that acts as both a wall and a bridge. And though I am unable to understand how, the very flow of stars that brought my Mist book into worthy hands, I am sure served as a safe passage home for my friend. The age of Riven is closed forever, but the people of Riven are free. And now I am at rest, understanding that in books and ages and life, the ending can never truly be written.
Hopefully Fisher still goes to the same place, or we're screwed. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, if his theory is correct, we end up where the Mist book was, and that's where we were. Which in theory means we'll land where the Dooney book is, and we'll just have it, which is cool. That's fine. But he's making a lot of assumptions about a fissure that they don't know anything about. So, alrighty. No problem, Neuroback. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I enjoy this. Now, we are going to move on to, because we're only like an hour into the stream, we are going to move on to 3. So, but before that, I do want to have a little bit of a discussion about the game. Now that we have, Mist 1 to compare it to, so let's go ahead and move chatting. So, how do I feel about Riven? I think it's really, really cool. They definitely spent a lot of time focusing. My mic is cracking. Give me a second then. All right. Huh. Hold on. Is this any better? What about that? Can you guys hear me now? I don't know. Not sure what's causing that. My microphone's not going out. That would really suck. Ba-da-bum-bum-bum. Better. It's fine. Okay. Yeah, it looks like my audio is only going through one ear. Okay. I don't know why it's doing that. Let's just try this. Yeah, it's the left channel. I don't know why though. That right sounds fine. Yeah. I don't know why the left channel is not going through. Okay. How is that? Is that better? Should be coming out of both ears evenly now. We can hear me fine. Okay. Just give me a heads up if that's still doing weird things. Center now. Yeah, I mixed it down to mono, so it should just be coming. The same sound should be coming from both sides. So, anyways, so what do I think about Riven? Riven's really cool. They spent a lot of more time on the environment, making the world seem very lived in. Let's go ahead and turn my volume down now that we mixed it down to mono. All right. They make it seem like it's very lived in because it is being lived in, whereas Mist has a lot of solitude built in. And that works for Mist because then your only interactions are with the brothers, at least until the very end when you meet Atris. The issue I have with Riven, and I've talked about this while we are going through the stream, anyways. It has the problem of, with the exception of a few puzzles, and they're usually right there at the beginning, it doesn't give you a good idea on the constraints of the puzzle you're working on. The example I'll use is you can get to certain solutions or partial solutions without ever knowing what puzzle it goes to, right? So if we look back at our notes, for example, this thing, that image, useless. It tells you nothing. It literally tells you nothing. Whereas this little water feature creature, very important. But all you know is it fills up water and it has an eyeball that makes a sound, right? So it's hard to know. Also, these eyeballs, right? The ones that go with the domes. They don't give you an idea of where those go, and the only other eyeballs you see is actually for an animal puzzle. So, like, the eyeballs that you find on the domes and the animal puzzle have nothing to do with each other, but they use the same symbology, so you might connect the two, right? Which is unfortunate, because those have nothing to do with each other. Whereas in Myst, definitely obscured some things among all the world building. Yeah, definitely agree with that. But in Myst, and of course Myst was like their first foray, so making it a very small, confined puzzle made sense, because when you go in Myst, the only big puzzles you have is figuring out how the Myst Island works. Once you figure out how the Myst Island works, which is the painting and the tower, that's it. You have the solution to enter any other world. The only other secondary solution you need is to find the levers to power the rocket ship, right? So the Mist Tower solves the Mist Island, and then once you get into each age, they all have a singular puzzle to solve for the most part. So with the ship, right? You go into the ship, you're like, I need to drain the water. Well, there's the pumps. Okay, I can go in this space, but it's dark, so I need to find lights. Okay, I can. I have this tower. It needs a key. There's a key on a chain here. How do I access that? Well, let me drain that. Right. So it gives you small puzzles that lead into the big puzzle. Like, how do I get this key to open that door? Right. I like the puzzles in NYSTV because there's always one little trick to each of them. But yeah, so you're like, okay, I can't get the key to the door, so what can I do? Well, there's a chest down there, and the chest has one interactable, which is the drain, right? So you drain it, you fill the water back up, you use the key, you open the thing, which gives you power, and like it cascades into, okay, I'm starting to solve this puzzle. For the audio puzzle, which I believe is in the Rocket Place. Thank you, Siver TV, for the follow. In the Rocket Place, I think that's the one with the maze. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the one with the maze. They give you multiple locations that make a sound and have a button. So you push the button, And you're like, okay, cool. What does that do? Don't know. You go around, and then you finally find a tunnel that leads you to a thing that has those same buttons, the same icons, and you can click on them and it changes a screen, right? Oh, missed. Yeah. And you're like, okay, well, if I make this correspond to what I see on the screen, and then that puzzle even helps you out. It's like, okay, well, it's roughly in this area, but as soon as you start hearing the sound, it has a little flash on the air. It's like, okay, just tap this a few times. Tap, 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 tap. Now it's lined up, right? And once you get the first one, you know what you do with the rest of them. And the one trick with that one is then you have to realize that the audio is in a certain order and use that to open the door. But the reason why that's okay, the reason why that's easy to figure out is because that's literally the only other interactable, right? So once you've got the Sigma, I've mastered all of the sounds thing, the only other interactable for you is that door's puzzle, right? Yeah, Saavedra's trying to link the making of. I definitely recommend looking at the making of and see how they worked mentality wise. But the problem with having puzzle games that are open is you start losing the player because they don't know what they should be interacting with, right? So, like, for example, when in Riven, when we got to the crater, right? If I was confined to that crater, I would have to find a way to progress. But I wasn't, right? I could take the minecart back. We could go all over that island, and then we could go to a separate island. So we had 3 islands at least when we had access to the crater. But the crater puzzle, if we were confined there, we would have found out very easily that all we had to do was close the door, and all we had to do was shut off the power to the fan, right? Those are the only 2 things you really had to do there. I mean, you have to go downstairs to do the orb eventually, but, like, that's it. So, but because we weren't confined there, it was like, well, I guess we need to come back. Also, you have a little bit of a red herring. It's useful to a different puzzle later in the game, which is the whole frog thing. But you put the food, you catch a frog. And it's like, okay, cool, I caught a frog. Now what? So, and you're thinking, oh, maybe I need to do it again, right? And then at that point, you know about the power of 5. So it's just, there's just so much you can do. And that causes the problem of you don't know what to do. At least for me personally. Now, a lot of people might look at that and go, okay, I'm on this island, I need to solve this island, whatever. It blinks it out for everybody else, Saavedro. It's a safety measure to make sure that people don't post harmful links. No, Copal, we haven't played Abduction, but we will be playing it after we finish the Myst games. So we will be playing through Myst 3, 4, and 5, assuming that they work properly, and then we will play Abduction after that. So, although I think Riven is an overall better made game, mainly because they probably had a bigger studio, a bigger puzzles in that game. Yeah, we'll definitely mess around with that. Bigger studio, more funding. Like, they definitely had more, and you can tell it really shows in Riven. Like, they thought about the aesthetics, they thought about the interactions. The one big puzzle at the end was really cool. Like, I really liked the idea of a 4 sequence structure, figuring things out puzzle. It's just there was so much having to go between island and island and island and island and island and island just to get all the information you needed, that it became kind of monotonous to get to those solutions. Because we have to get to every orb, right? So there's that problem. Then you have to go to the chair and figure out the colors. And then you have the topology thing, or topography thing, which is really cool. I think that's one of the coolest things that they added so far. Now, given we're only on 2, we have 3, 4, and 5 to play. But it's the problem of it's very hard to see, and there's no indication at what you're looking for. Like, you just literally pull up, this is what the island looks like, what am I looking for? Now, if you use a little bit of deduction, you can go, one of these things is not like the other. That one thing is the dome, right? You see this one dome and a bunch of rocky outcroppings. Fine, it just makes sense. And once you know that you're looking for that, you'll know for all the rest of them, which is cool. But once again, you can run into that puzzle long before you know you need it. I think the hiding stuff behind doors or hiding a lever that creates stairs to the actual puzzle, although seems a bit like trolly, I guarantee that that puzzle, that the idea of like, oh, we need to close the door to access more of the environment, that is only a troll because we can move on, right? Because we can get off that island. Again, if we were confined to Crater Island, I guarantee most players would eventually find that door, right? Because they would go for screen to screen, clicking on everything they can until they got to the doors and clicked on them, right? But because they can go back up the minecart, get to that island, and, you know, eventually you can, well, no, you can't get to the fan turn off. So yeah, you can go to a different island. If they didn't have that access, you would know you were stuck there. And that's what Myst did, right? Once you step into an age, you know that everything in this age is a confinement to that puzzle. So does that necessarily like make it bad? No, I don't think so. I think it's just a different perception on how puzzles can be done. But, and also you gotta think, this was 1997. Everybody was still kind of figuring out what games were like and how they work and what people engage with. So like I think this was a really smart decision and a smart evolution of Myst, but coming from a modern puzzle standpoint without, and I have done some game development myself. I've done educational games. If you do not create constraints for a player, they will just do whatever random thing they can, which in some regards you can use to your advantage. In others, it can cause people to walk away. So I'm going to draw this. I've talked about this graph a few times. There's a graph in game development, and it's really just a game theory graph. It doesn't have to be strictly for video games. And it looks like, let me just, this. Okay. So, try to see if it, let me dial back my light a little bit. Second. Okay. A bit dark, but that's fine for what we're going to do. All right, so if you can see this, sorry, my handwriting's kind of bad. So you have frustration and boredom, right? And right there in the middle, this is where you want the players, right? You want them getting a little frustrated and then solving something and getting kind of bored and solving something and getting frustrated and getting bored, right? You want them to go back and forth. Because if you go too far into frustration, they rage quit. If you go too far into boredom, they just get bored and don't keep playing, right? So you have to find the balance between the two. And the way you do that with puzzle games is giving them constraints. So, and this isn't a Myst thing or a Riven specific thing. This is with point and click adventures. If you watched our Sam & Max playthrough, you'll know that that game was even worse about this problem than Riven is. Because in Sam & Max, the one we played is Hit the Road. Once we get to our car in the beginning of that game, we have access to 5 locations. Before we have any other interaction, we literally leave our office, get in our car, we have 5 locations. So it immediately takes the training wheels off and expects you to just start figuring things out. Right? So, at least with Riven, they give you the tutorial beginning of, this is a book interaction, this is a lever, here's a puzzle, and then you have the rotating room. And that's it, right? Sam Max is even frustrating to watch. Yeah, I'm sure. Right, so it confines you right there at the beginning, so you know you only have this rotating room and the things on the walls, the beetles that show you stuff. That's it. So then you have to go kind of exploring and go, oh, I can go under this door. And then once you figure that out, you can start progressing again, right? So it does a good job at the very beginning, confining you and helping you understand how puzzles work and how you're supposed to look for things and interact with things. whereas Sam Max just throws you in. Now, of course, like I said in that stream, maybe Hit the Road is like a later game, and they expected you to have played like the first game or second game or how many games were before that. But but overall, to sum this all up, I really enjoyed Riven. I definitely started getting toward that frustrated point at a couple of the things, just because I couldn't get my mind around the idea that like there is a solution here and it's closer than you think. I just my mind always expands out to, well, there's a puzzle here, we don't have the solution, let's go find it. And that worked actually for most of the time, right? Like most of the time when it was like, oh, we can't really solve this puzzle, well, let's just move on to something else that we can solve. So it worked in its favor most of the time. But I think it's a good game. Obviously, if you watch me play through it, there might not be a reason for you to play through it, but I'm sure everybody here is already uh, giving it a playthrough. If you haven't, obviously, give it a shot. Maybe give yourself a few months to kind of forget solutions and stuff, and then kind of dive into it yourself. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think it's, don't you get a better feeling of satisfaction after being frustrated? See, what you're describing is the Dark Souls thing, right? So Dark Souls is meant to be a very difficult game that builds up frustration to the point of where you want to rage quit, but then you surmount that odds, so it gives you a lot bigger of a like happiness release because you solved it. With puzzle games, that frustration doesn't go away because you've solved the puzzle, because it makes you feel like an idiot once you've solved the puzzle. Right? At least some people. Like if it's a quick puzzle, like the door thing, right? If the door is being closed gives us access to a new area, that just makes me feel like an idiot, right? That's technically a puzzle, or at least a thing that allows us to access more of a puzzle, which is the fan. And the fan thing is also something that's like, I thought I had looked up, I didn't look up. Obviously, there was a fan there. That's how we get through. Like the satisfaction was kind of tempered by the, wow, I should have figured this out. Why am I so, so much of a dingus? I shouldn't be this much of a dingus. I should know to close the doors or go through the fan or whatever. So it's a little bit different. I mean, I think that's, if you feel like an idiot, you realize you don't know everything. Yes, but if you want people to continue playing your game, making them feel like an idiot is not the way to do it. Like I said, Sam Max had a few more egregious issues that I hold against it that Riven didn't have. Riven still, there was almost no information that we got that wasn't important in some way. Like every journal we read had some sort of solution or something tied to it, with the exception of the last journal, which was just information on Gen himself, which is good because if you have characters, you kind of want to establish who they are and their motivations and whatnot. I really don't feel like an idiot when I feel I've learned something. But that's the thing. It's like you're not learning anything. You're solving a puzzle, right? The learning a useful skill is different than learning the solution to a problem, like a game problem. Now, real life problem, that becomes something different. But like, I can't solve anything in real life by closing a door. That just makes me feel like an idiot. But once again, that's completely my opinion. You're entitled to yours. I'm interested to see what do you guys think? What was, if you had a good and a bad for Riven, what would be your good and bad? Because the best way to look at games when you're critiquing them is to figure out what worked well and what didn't work, and like what you could alter to make it better, right? So that way, especially as a game company, now of course Cyan's been doing this for a lot longer than they don't need my critique, but yeah, just you can compare it to other things that you've played as long as it's not like something where you have to spoil something, but yeah, I'd be interested to see what you guys think the good and the bad of Riven was. Like I said, for me, I think there's enough good to outweigh the bad. Neurovac says good story, lore, well integrated with puzzles and gameplay. Okay, Um, but although one thing I did find interesting, they have those scenes where the guys sound the alarm, um, and that doesn't do anything. Really, I mean, I guess it tells the villagers to all go in their house, which is why they're not there. Um, Whipple says, "I think the animal puzzle was a little too vague." Yeah, I agree because it doesn't tell you um it doesn't tell you in the animal puzzle what exactly you're looking for until you get to the animal puzzle. Like once you get to the circle where you're like, "Ah, these are shapes I need to have seen." Um like some animals for obvious and some not. Yeah, the issue I have with the animal puzzle is they don't give you there's one that's supposed to be like, ah, this is what you're looking for. Help define there are two factions here, I think. Okay, fair. When you fill up the water and you see that little weird squid monster thing, like with that eyeball, or I think it's supposed to be a bug, but when you see the bug, with that eyeball, like that's supposed to be your aha. These are the shapes I'm looking for. The problem is there's literally nothing else that does that. Um, because one is the shape of a cave, one is the shape of a rock. Uh, Another one you're just supposed to know the sound, and then another one you're supposed to read a note that tells you to look through a telescope that tells you where to uh, roughly where to find another shape that's both on the water and on the rock. So yeah, the animal puzzle was a bit weird. I definitely feel like if we didn't have a little assistance there, it would have taken considerably longer to solve. So, but yeah, overall, great game. I would still recommend it to people. I would just make sure that they know ahead of time that it's going to be considerably more frustrating than Myst, and to stick with it and make sure that they explore every screen they have an interaction with. Because missing one screen or one thing on a screen, like in Myst, will completely stop you in your tracks. So, but yeah, good recommend. Let's see if we can get the third one going. Let's see. Myst 3 Exile. See if this loads up. Okay, well, loaded up pretty quickly. Here.